also put into a drying oven. So it's easy to see that these laboratory conditions are not similar to real-life environmental circumstances. We hear the oak leaf line almost every day as people defend their balloon releases. What they refuse to acknowledge is that it takes years for these balloons to even begin to break down. While pure latex may be biodegradable, latex balloons contain toxic chemicals and dyes along with plasticizers. They are not 100% biodegradable or 100% natural, regardless of what the packaging says. So here's our own study, our backyard biodegradability test. We found 2 latex balloons that washed ashore in 2011, tied them by their plastic ribbon to our fence posts in our backyard, and we do not handle them, and they are constantly exposed to Florida's extreme weather conditions, from hot, humid, blazing summer days to heavy downpours. And that was over 2.5 years ago, and they are both still there. They deflated and lost some of their color. Sometimes they're dry and hard. Other times they're soft and pliable, but they are definitely not biodegrading. We've been taking a picture of them on the 24th of every month for almost 3 years now. It's getting pretty boring watching them just sit there. Claiming a product will eventually biodegrade does not justify tossing them into the environment. Our study is proving how this aerial litter can pose a risk to animals for years. But balloons aren't just a deadly littering problem. Balloons also contribute to helium depletion. This subject has recently made headlines. Helium may be the second most common element in the universe, but it is quite rare on Earth. The U.S. supplies 80% of the world's helium, and supply is not keeping up with demand. This finite resource is collected during oil and natural gas extraction and took billions of years to accumulate. It's ridiculous this non-renewable resource is allowed to be squandered by balloons. There is no alternative to helium, and it is used in many life-saving medical procedures. It is needed in MRIs, diagnostics, and ventilators. It's also used in fiber optics, sea and space exploration, lasers and solar telescopes, even flat-screen TVs. After learning the other uses for this important element and the rapid depletion of our reserves, it's easy to see that using it to fill balloons is not only unnecessary, but completely wasteful. You can probably see by now why we had to let others know balloons blow. We are hopeful people will begin to choose truly environmentally friendly alternatives to celebrate or remember a loved one. Our favorite is to plant flowers, trees, or butterfly gardens. These will bring more life and can be used to raise funds and attention. So we could also use ribbons and flags, pinwheels, banners, blow bubbles, fly kites, or organize a cleanup. These alternatives will not harm animals and are just as, if not more, eye-catching than littering our planet with balloons. Please remember, sky lanterns are not an environmentally safe alternative. Many people suggest these as an alternative to balloons, but releasing anything into the sky will come down as litter. These sky lanterns have been known to seriously burn people, they have started huge fires and killed animals, and almost killed little kids when they were sleeping in their tent. And one landed on it. It's not just balloons that we've been finding more of, there's way more plastic pollution than ever. The ocean is being choked by our plastic garbage. Plastic bottles, plastic food containers, plastic household products, plastic straws, plastic caps, plastic utensils, styrofoam, and much more. We go to remote beaches, so the crap that we find is rarely left behind by beachgoers. Nearly all the trash we collect has been washed ashore. It could have been circulating in the sea for many years or recently spit out by a river. Trash inland can still be carried by wind, rain, and water runoffs into streams and rivers and eventually out to sea. We are no longer collecting marine debris. It is now plastic marine pollution. Here's a map of the ocean currents and gyres. Gyres are circulating currents, like giant whirlpools. Our garbage is accumulating in these gyres. But the trash isn't just contained to the gyres, the whole ocean has become a plastic soup. I'm sure most people have heard of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, but did you know that there are garbage patches in every ocean gyre? We have our own garbage patch out in the North Atlantic subtropical gyre too. Storms, strong winds, and swells purge the sea of all kinds of plastic and styrofoam that often ends up getting pushed onto shores. There are some beaches where you won't find shells and you can barely see the sand. All the beaches will end up looking like this if we don't turn the tide on our plastic addiction now. Single-use plastic water bottles are more prevalent than ever, and this convenience comes at the cost of the planet. Plastic companies like to make people think that recycling is the solution, but it actually adds to the problem, and studies have shown it actually promotes more plastic consumption. Plastic doesn't get recycled, it gets downcycled into products of lesser quality and reduced functionality. And only a small percentage of what goes to the recycling centers actually gets recycled because they are so overwhelmed by the amount. Only like 5%. By reducing our impact, we all have the power to help stop this crisis. By consuming less single-use plastics and throwaway items, we can create less waste and in return save wildlife everywhere. Whether you live near the ocean or far inland, trash ends up in the sea through water runoff, streams, and rivers. It is estimated that 80% of ocean pollution is land-based. So next time you go to throw something away, remember, there is no away. It's all going somewhere. The animals are eating our trash too, not just the balloons. All our garbage is harmful to animals. Much of what we collect is bit up by fish, birds, sea turtles, sharks, and crustaceans. These bites are from fish and birds. Think about how many people use styrofoam cups every single day. We rarely find styrofoam cups that don't show evidence of being partially consumed by animals. And if you eat animals, you're eating the plastic that they're eating too. It all accumulates. So the North Atlantic subtropical gyre contains the Sargasso Sea, which is a very important place for many juvenile species. They go there to seek refuge and to feed in the Sargasso mats. And unfortunately, these mats are polluted with our plastic. Maybe it's less food, more plastic, or both, but so much of the stuff we are finding has bite marks, from little baby sea turtles to big sharks. These are pictures of juvenile sea turtle bites. Animals are consuming our plastic. Everyday items like these are polluting the ocean, and we can help stop this by refusing to buy this plastic garbage. Even things placed neatly in the trash can or recycle bin can still end up in the ocean and in someone's belly. Items people consume every day and toss without a thought can end up being a death sentence for many animals. An item you may use for 10 minutes can still end up lasting longer than all of us. It could have been from you, it could have been from me, but it still ended up in the sea. Holding an item that has been bitten and chewed by animals makes you never want to buy crap like that again. And it's really sad and disturbing to us, but it motivates us to keep going. So there are many easy alternatives to cut down on the waste that we create. Everybody can always improve. Reusable water bottles and to-go cups, reusable bags, reusable straws. You can also make your own stuff too, like toothpaste, deodorant, and shampoo. The next time you go to the store, just take a look at how much stuff is wrapped in plastic And once you're aware, you can look for alternatives to become part of the solution and not add to this. Plastic isn't just poisoning the planet, it's poisoning us too. Plastic containers leach chemicals into the products that we eat and use. These toxic chemicals disrupt hormones and can cause other serious health problems. We choose products made of natural materials like glass, wood, or metal. So what can people do to help? Reducing our use of single-use products and cleaning up whenever we see trash can make a positive impact on the planet. It doesn't take a group of people or a big organized event to make a difference. We can all pitch in anytime, anywhere. Spreading the message about balloon releases and their impact on wildlife has helped stop balloon releases before they happen. Tell your family and friends. People don't usually give a second thought to balloons, but you might make more of an impact than you ever expected. One person can make a difference and stop 1,000 balloon releases. So you never know what you can do. We also have stickers and printable fact sheets on our website to make spreading the message easier. We hope that by encouraging people to think about the damage a simple balloon can cause, they'll begin to question other aspects of their lifestyle and lead them to develop a more environmentally conscious mindset. We hope that by engaging people to think about the the more people you tell, the more people will know that balloons blow, don't let them go. So I think we might have some balloon questions. We have some balloons to show you guys. Okay, you can start with your questions while we're showing you balloons. Bite marks. You can just type your questions to us when you have them, or say them, or whatever you want to do. Did you see that styrofoam was the most numerous item? It's definitely one of the top, probably like after balloons and single-use plastic bottles, but almost every styrofoam cup we find has bite marks in it. So that's probably what you're thinking. Along with every like clear, thin piece of plastic is always all bit up by little baby sea turtles, just thinking that it's jellyfish. Yeah, but when we see like a styrofoam cup a couple feet away, we just almost guarantee that there's going to be a bite mark on it by one, if not two, three animals. It's pretty sad. And then we see people chugging down these Dunkin' Donuts coffee cups every day, and we're like, what? How did you get involved with this? What made you so passionate about it? Well, you probably see all that garbage on the beach, and the beaches are so beautiful down here, and the whole planet's beautiful. We just need to take care of it, and yeah, it's disgusting. We kind of, I mean, just when you're out there and you see that stuff and you start picking it up, and then when we went online and saw all these people promoting it, it's just kind of disheartening to see that, and so we kind of felt like we had to fill a void there. Yeah, when we saw the balloon industry pushing their lives so hard, just trying to make money, we knew that we had to get the word out, especially when nobody else was. What is the weirdest thing you have found? Everything's weird because it shouldn't be out in the ocean. Right, exactly. One time we found dentures, which that was weird. We found an old banner stone one time that was used by Indians. That was pretty cool. We also find weather balloons sometimes, which obviously isn't good either. They're giant balloons, basically, with these sonars attached to them, and you know, the weather places are setting these things up every day, and we find them all the time. How old were you when you started Balloons Blow? That was in 2011. I was 21. How old were you? Like 4? Yeah. But you know, we've been cleaning up the beaches all our lives. So, but just to get that website out there is really like. Yeah. First we were just like cleaning the beach, and we were finding all these balloons. And we were like, what the heck? Balloons blow. And we were like, balloons blow, don't let them go. And then we were like, we need bumper stickers for that. And then, of course, you can't just have a bumper sticker because there's so much more to say. So then we started balloonsblow.org. Yeah, and compiling this information has helped a lot of people just, get their resource and information all on one page without, trying to string it together with all these different websites.
We wanted you to know that we have been doing the no release pledges. Our principal was the first one. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think we saw that picture. That's good.
Yeah, and getting into schools and getting kids to understand this is the best thing ever, because then they start from a young age, and then they're not afraid to speak up when they see adults releasing balloons.
Yeah.
Because we get a lot of people that they're a little shy, or they just don't want to get reprimanded by their friends. So, and we'll go and talk to the people too, and organizers, and contact them that way. But when a little kid tells you, "Hey, what are you doing with that balloon?"
Yeah,
it's a lot easier.
Listen, a lot more than us.
The weather balloons, oh man, they are probably 3 feet long, and it's really, really thick latex.
I think we have a picture of one. It's almost like a parachute thing, but
yeah,
I don't know. The weather people say that they still need to be letting them off, but the planes and stuff, there's all kinds of other ways they can collect the information.
I think here's one, 10,000 balloons. Oh, right, yep, this orange.
On the top of this,
orange bag
with the styrofoam block next to it.
So the orange part is the parachute that lets it go down slowly. The pink shreddy stuff to the left or to the right is actually the weather balloon, and that white box all the way to the right is the sonar box.
And I think it says something like, "If found, dispose of properly." Okay, are you gonna tell a whale that when he's freaking finding it out in the ocean and trying to eat it? Okay, we have found a balloon release being advertised on Facebook for a girl who had died. How should we approach that? Those are always hard ones.
Yeah.
We just try to suggest nice alternatives and in a nice way.
And you always have to be supportive too and everything, and let people know that you're there and you understand why they're doing this. It's not,
But there are many other ways to celebrate a life that won't harm more lives.
Right. You just have to be, gentle and sensitive to the issue, but, there's no excuse for littering.
Yeah, and that only sets more bad examples for the next person when somebody else dies or something like that. We can't just keep polluting the planet every time somebody dies, because it's only going to kill more things.
And there's so many great alternatives, like planting a tree or flowers, because then you can go back to that and see that and have it create more life. So
yeah, that's why we tried to make this info pic for all people who can't come up with anything else besides balloons. You can blow bubbles, make a planter. When you're planting plants and trees and stuff, you're creating more life and more homes for animals. So
there's ways around it.
Any other questions? Yes, more questions.
How do you find time to do this and work full time?
It's hard. Balloons will have consumed our lives.
That's a good question. We don't know the answer to that, really.
We just do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
Half the time she's out in the field, in the woods, with no internet, so pretty much just me and my parents holding down the fort in Florida. But
it's definitely overwhelming, and it's good though, because there's so many people around the world that are contacting us, and we really see that there was a need for this website and for this whole initiative.
And that's the good thing, because we try to build our website for as a good resource for people, so they could just run with the information that we have out there.
Right. Instead of going online and trying to find this information, instead of just finding balloon industry propaganda and saying, oh, it's good, it's environmentally friendly, it's biodegradable, don't worry, just release them. People can actually see real pictures and what actually is being found out in nature, and not just by this industry that pollutes.
So they'll stop writing notes to their loved ones on balloons and thinking that they're actually getting to heaven.
And we get a lot of people that come to us and say, oh, well, I've never thought of this before. I've been releasing balloons for, my passed away grandfather for years, and now I never will ever again, and thank you for showing me, you know, what's been doing, and now that they can go and tell their friends and start doing something more positive and not contributing to this. So a lot of people are thankful for it, and it's just new knowledge. And the more you learn, the more you grow.
What's a good way to get involved with this in our community?
Well,
we start posting the flyers around in different places where you see them selling balloons,
or just talking to people really in general.
Some people have never given it a thought, and some people have, and they don't know that there's a resource out there where they can, because some people, they want to tell people, oh, that's bad for animals, but then they like have nothing else to back it up. But
yeah, just showing people, you know, these alternatives that are out there is really important, and just getting to the people that are actually doing this.
And after we started our website, we of course had to start a Facebook page, and I don't know if you can tell, but we're really shy. So, but we have like 29,000 likers on Facebook, which is pretty crazy for us. But it's going worldwide, and it's really cool to see that. Do you allow schools to do chapters for this?
We haven't so far.
We haven't really like started a Balloons Blow chapter thing, but of course everybody is welcome to spread the word, and I don't know, we might need to come up with something more.
Yeah, we definitely have some projects that we're working on to try and get this up and going more. That's definitely a good idea, though, to have schools be chapters.
And we'll let you guys know first. Yeah, these ones are bites. I don't know if you can see, but this little, those right there are bite marks. Right there. Imagine how little that animal must have been to make those little holes. Do you save all the trash you find? Yes, a lot of it. We started saving all the bit up stuff, which is a lot, and all the foreign stuff, because we get lots of stuff from like South America and the Caribbean, and I've been kind of become a marine debris hoarder. And yeah.
But a lot of the plastic that we collect, you know, it's not recyclable because it's just been degraded out in the salt water and everything. So
yeah,
it has life growing on it.
Yeah,
particles.
All the ocean cleanup trash machines that you see, those aren't gonna work, and that stuff is not gonna be recycled, and you can't use it.
Next question.
Sky lanterns safe to release? Heck no. Nope.
So sky lanterns, a lot of times, you know, people will say that they're biodegradable too because it's just paper, and sometimes they'll use bamboo for like the frame of it. But really, this paper is treated, it's dyed, it has chemicals in it. It's not just, you know, natural paper. And releasing anything into the environment, you know, isn't really good, especially when you're sending flames up in the air. And these lanterns are being banned around the world. And, you know, it goes against most fire codes. You're releasing, you know, fire unattended and everything. So they say, you know, they'll go out in 10 minutes, or they go out and just, you know, float down. But still, that lantern's going somewhere, and they've caused huge fires. They've caused house fires. There was a chemical plant in Europe.
Plastic plant was burning for like 3 days. It was the biggest fire they'd ever seen.
So just one of these.
Just because somebody was like, oh, this is pretty. And we can go out and look at the stars and the comets,
and these lanterns, you know, they're legal in most places. So places, you know, like California and with drought, or Arizona, you're allowed to release these things, and it just kind of doesn't make any sense because you're releasing flames, and again, you're releasing something into the environment, and that's littering.
Yeah. So there's actually a big event going on at the Rise Festival. We're trying to get like 10,000 people out there and give them like 2 lanterns each. So imagine the mess that's going to cause. Just ridiculous why this is allowed at all.
And some of these lanterns are almost like human size. They're really giant. And, you know, as you can see, this owl got trapped in it and probably starved to death. So it's just
broke its neck.
Not a good thing to be putting out there. And I believe in like Thailand, you know, where these things originated from, they're stopping their use too, because they're realizing that they're polluting their oceans and polluting their lands. So people are becoming more aware, but the information definitely needs to get out there more, because people see something pretty and they're like, oh, you know, I want to do that, but then they don't really think about where they're going or the consequences. So we kind of always have to think one step further than our, you know, quick actions.
Any other questions? I have another bite on this balloon too. All those little nibbles.
And it's easy to see how these can, you know, look like jellies or little lures in the ocean. Just how they pop is, you know.
Yeah, it almost look like they have tentacles.
So it's really easy for a sea turtle or any kind of marine animal to think this. And the bighorn sheep even, they're thinking that they're bright colors and bright, good vegetation to eat, and so they're eating them, and it's getting caught in their digestive tract and they're dying.
Can you tell what information is available on your website? Everything you need to know about the balloon.
So we have a photo gallery,
like hundreds,
ever growing. It's kind of a compilation of animals that have been harmed by balloons, just photos from the field, from us, from people around the world.
Yeah, if you find a balloon, snap a picture, send it in, we'll add it, do a little thumbs down, we'll get you on our Facebook.
And it's important to have these pictures because, you know, it's the balloon industry that's saying, oh, well, there's never been an account of an animal dying from a balloon. But we have, you know, 20 right on our first page. So we also have pages like, why do people release balloons, just to understand, you know, a little bit about why people even do it in the first place.
Helium depletion. We have a wall of shame for businesses that their balloons are found out polluting nature. We put them on the wall of shame and say, hey, look, your balloon was found here, and you should really stop using it because of this reason. And if they decide that they're not going to use balloons, we'll take them off the wall of shame. But if they're still going to use them, they remain on our wall of shame.
We also have a list of environmentally friendly alternatives and ways people can help. We have a reporter release page where people can alert us of releases if they know what's going on. We have Make the Promise page, fact sheets and stickers, and a page about what the effects on wildlife, more specifically.
How can releasing balloons not be considered littering? I know, right?
Good question.
What the heck? You're like letting something off and then not having any control of where it's going.
It should be included in current littering laws, but unfortunately it's not. And the balloon industry has spent big bucks making sure that people can still litter this product.
Have you ever done a letter writing campaign to balloon companies to show them what they're promoting is harming the environment? No, because they know what they're doing is is killing the environment, and they don't care. They just care about money, and
the balloon
it would be useless. It would be like telling BP to like stop drilling for oil. They're not going to do it.
Yeah, we're trying to work with the EPA, and you know, trying to get it out there that it is just littering. And the easiest way to go about it is to include it in existing littering laws, because it is just littering. And so in order to do that, you know, we would have to go up against this giant industry that has tons of money and, you know, like we said, are knocking down propositions left and right. And so that aspect is it might be a little bit more difficult to get to the legal side of it.
A little bigger before we attack all that.
So fortunately, people are taking the initiative themselves, and
because another thing is there's all kinds of laws that people break all the time. We just need common sense and people who care about the planet that they're living on, because there's no planet B. Right. This is the only one we have.
Right, and even the states that do have laws still allow for a certain number of balloons because the balloon industry, you know, got in there and made sure that some of them could be released.
Yeah.
And even in those laws or in those states, it's not enforced, and the police officers don't have a clue that this law even exists.
Yeah, half the time we're educating the cops and law enforcement on their own laws. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah, if we wanted to bring it to the EPA, is there any way we can support you?
We're still working on that, but
right.
We'll let you guys know and keep you updated for sure.
Eventually there could be something.
Does the balloon industry really tell teachers to tell kids balloons are just like candy? Should kids eat them? Yeah, the balloon industry is so manipulative that they actually have all these little, projects for teachers and students to get them to think that balloons are harmless. And they have this little candy and balloon experiment, and it's just a bunch of freaking propaganda and garbage. What do you think kids are going to want to eat, balloons or candy? I pick candy.
but if you were a sea turtle,
yeah, right? They're going to go for the balloon. But yeah, it's really nuts to see like how conniving, and it's just ludicrous, the balloon industry.
And you know, these websites, they know that we're out there now, and they've changed their websites, you know, after we came up, and it's still all the same propaganda, and they're still using, you know, that old study and everything, but it's kind of just manipulation. And if there's information out there, then some people will see, you know, the photos from the field and see our stuff, and then they'll still refer to the balloon industry propaganda. And you know, some people will always do that, but it's just like getting your information from the oil industry or any, you know, polluting industry that is making big bucks off of wrecking the environment. They're not going to admit to it, basically.
Yeah. And when we found out about the balloon industry, we were like, really? A whole like industry for balloons? But it's $1 million industry, and they work hard to fight for their right to keep littering legal. And it's really disgusting. It just shows how much they just care about money, and that's it.
Yeah, and it seems, you know, they don't have to be promoting releases. It's crazy.
But that's the thing that gets them the most money, because often balloon releases are done by hundreds and thousands. And usually when people are buying balloons for the kid's birthday party, it's like, what, a dozen? So they love those balloon releases. Have you ever seen the movie Iron Jawed Angels? No, we haven't. Their campaign is amazing. They use the president's words against him. Have you ever thought about using balloon companies' words against them? That's a good idea. They're kind of very careful how they say things, but we found some ways to.
I mean, their biggest thing is that, oh well, latex balloons are biodegradable, so it's okay.
And they biodegrade as fast as an oak leaf. But oak leaves can take 4 years, and oak leaves fall from a tree. They don't get made in a factory and added with all kinds of dyes and chemicals and all kinds of other stuff. So it's just like, it seems like a useless argument to me, but so many people seem to believe it. But yeah, we'll have to check that out. Looks like a good one. You could use your backyard study as proof that they're not bio. Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yep. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these things are solid waste and should be treated just like any other piece of garbage. You could get fined for throwing a banana peel out your window when you're driving. That's littering. Why does it matter if something is biodegradable or not? It's not biodegradable, but even if it was, it's still littering.
My fast food wrapper is biodegraded in time, so it's okay to throw out the window.
Exactly.
Yeah, right? It seems like that's the logic they're using.
And it just, you know, it doesn't really make any sense, but these guys have tons of money, and they will wipe out any law going up against it. But if people know and people realize it, then...
Yeah, but that's why we're just, right now, just focusing on educating the public, because I think that's more powerful than the laws.
Eventually,
the laws will definitely help for sure,
the laws might reflect, you know, public views of this, and public views are changing about this for sure.
Mm-hmm. What other questions you guys have? Show my ribbon dancers. We like to make ribbon dancers instead of play with balloons. And you just take a piece of bamboo, some ribbon, hot glue it on there, or you can even just tie it in a knot, and it's more fun when you're standing up. But
I mean, really, like, what?
Yeah,
when you're at a balloon release,
they're at it.
It's just like you let go and that's it. So if you get like people actually involved with what you're doing, then it might be more of a successful event anyway.
Yeah, it makes people more active. And
all right, we have about 5-7 minutes left. Do you guys have any more questions for us, or?
So yeah, tell your friends, balloons blow and plastic bites.
Yeah, everybody, you know, we can't all do everything, but we can all do something.
Yeah.
And even just like one thing can add up and make a difference. So if you cut, you know, if you buy coffee every day, I have a styrofoam cup. If you bought a to-go cup and stop that, think about how many cups that you're going to prevent from either going in a landfill or going in the ocean or going in an animal's stomach. So everybody can always do something.
We greatly appreciate everything you are doing and you have taught us today.
Thank you guys. It's really, you know, this is what it's all about, and it's just about reaching people and, you know, getting it out there and having people, you know, just have this knowledge with them, and then so when they do see balloons being released, they can think, oh, wait a second, they're not good, and maybe I should say something, because just one person can, you know, make a huge difference.
And Elgin High School is very interested in being your very first chapter.
We will definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, for sure. We need to work on something like that. So
for sure.
We'll do some brainstorming.
Yeah, definitely.
Like us on Facebook. Send us your email, or your address if you.
Our connection seems to be going, but
Thanks so much for having us. I don't know what happened to our camera, but thank you, everybody.
Yeah, find us on Facebook and send us pictures of balloons if you ever find any.
Yeah.
We'll add them to the gallery and let everybody know that balloons blow.